Turn over by me.
There is Sue. S. Hayward. Good morning. Sunday fun day is underway. Sue, it's just you and me right now. Apparently someone else doesn't want to join the class. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe it's a Dickerson thing. Don't know. Anyways, because you showed up on time, we're going to get started. To get started, we're going to come to the center parts of our mat. We're going to bring our feet to the edges, or sorry, the heels to the edges with our toes aiming in slightly towards the center line. I'd like you to bring your hands up about shoulder height, make little fists with thumbs on them and point the thumbs in towards the shoulders. Oh, good afternoon. Thanks for joining this meeting. All right, now with that, I'd like you to draw the elbows backwards until you feel a nice engagement of the muscles across the shoulders, across the back, upper back, of course. As you do that now, I'd like you to bring some straightness to the legs, some hollowness out to the belly. And I want you to imagine, if you can, that from the pubis all the way through the spinal column, all the way up to the top of the head, we're growing the spine. Feel the lengthening, the hollowing, all simultaneously working together with those cute little elbows of yours in the back. I'd like you to squeeze them together. And then using the thumbs kind of as a hinge point, like sweep open the elbows. Now, as you do, pay attention to your shoulders. Are they rounding inwards? And if they are, like you kind of keep the tension in the back. So the shoulders have a retraction to them as the elbows move forward. And then I like to squeeze those elbows together in the back and then articulate, kind of fly it, if you will, in and out slowly. Right, now, bring the elbows into the side of the body, put a 90-degree bend in your arms, squeeze, give yourself a big hug. Basically, you're hugging the rib cage with the upper arms. And with that hug, like you kind of sweep open and close. So the thumbs right now are presently aiming up at the sky. And we're going to articulate in and out a few more times. And then we're going to change the angle of the hands. Great, now hold this next one in, flip the thumbs so that the fingers run parallel or palms run parallel to the sky, and begin to do the same exercise all over again. Very important here not to let the elbows float out. You're actually actively squeezing those ribs of yours as you open and close. And see if you can make a little bit of extra effort without tensioning the neck as you sweep back the thumbs. All right, let's hold them back, open up the hands, push the palms all the way out so arms are nice and straight. And we begin to corkscrew the hands. So we're just going to rotate the palms all the way through, up to down, and see if we can make a few more rotations there before we finally rest with palms aiming to the sky. I'm going to move back from this ceiling fan.
Trade places.
Trading places. That was a great movie. You can be Eddie Murphy. Sweep up to the sky with the hands as we salute the sun. I'd like you to pull your butt backwards. There's a little bend in the knees, but just so slightly. As you reach the fingers high, the arms are pulling long. You can almost feel like your shoulders are pulling out of the body. Take a big breath in, and as you exhale, swan dive it down. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Hold the fold, straighten the legs. Pull back with the hips. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, extend. Hold the extension. Drift the hips back, walk the fingers forward. Enjoy this for a few more seconds. While we're here, let's take the ball of each big toe, push it into the mat, see if you can increase the extension of the legs. It's almost like you're pulling with an imaginary string on the back of the knees and getting that nice pull, that tension. You feel it in the hands, hopefully. As you release your next breath, let the upper body fold back down and bring your hand to opposite elbow and hang out for a couple breaths. The fingertips once again descend and walk them out
Straighten those legs, take the ball of each big toe, push it to the mat. As you drift your hips backwards, try to bring more weight to the heel of the foot. And let the fingertips walk a little more forward. Keep the extension, bend both knees, and step both hands onto the shins. Now, spinal extension, neck extension, nice and long in this tabletop type position. Palms pushing in without the elbows rotating internally. Try to externally rotate the elbows as you push with the palm to the shin connection. Take that bend in the knee and deepen it a little more. Raise the shoulders a little higher. Proud out the chest, and then unhinge with the hips, but keep the hips low. So we're not standing up, we're keeping the hips low. Bring the palms just onto the kneecaps, so gently resting them, we're not pressuring them anymore. From here, I'd like you to shoot the hands forward and rotate the palms to face. Pull the shoulders back, proud out the chest, and engage your six-pack muscles. See if you can kind of pelvically tilt. If you're pulling the pubis up and into the tummy, as you do so, raise the arms. To inhale, stand tall. And as you exhale, let the arms relax. Good morning. Still warming up the body. Sweep the hands to the sky. Lower them back down. Sweep up as you inhale. Lower down as you exhale. Just working on some shoulder mobility right now. This isn't too challenging, is it, Kirsten?
No.
Nice. Now, hold it up. Take that left hand, bring it down onto the hip. Stick that left elbow, sweep it forward, and be mindful that you're not rotating in with that left shoulder. I'd like you to pull it back, keeping that nice reach to the sky with the right hand. Spread the fingers. Take that left hand and push the hips to the right. And then let that right arm kind of sweep down towards the air. And don't bend through the elbow. Imagine the fingers are pulling that arm nice and come back up, switch it up, reach it tall, rotate the elbow forward, rotate the shoulder back, push the hip to the side, reach for the sky, and let that arm continue to sweep towards that left ear at this time. And as you come back up, lower both arms, raise both shoulders, open the palms face forward, keep the shoulders high, kind of like the tough guy right now, right? Draw the elbows backwards. You have to look at a tough guy. You know what a tough guy is?
Let's see what a tough guy looks like.
This is what a tough guy looks like.
Okay.
All right, now we got those elbows pulling backwards, palms are facing forward, and we'll rotate the thumbs outwards, we squeeze the elbows together. Yeah, so palms are rotating outwards, elbows squeezing together. That helps to know anatomy a little bit, just say it. Now, imagine there's a string on top of the head, pulling it to the sky, hollow out the belly, elbows pull back a little more, elbows squeeze together with a little more effort. Big inhale, and as you exhale, sweep the palms out to the side of the body and extend them all the way out. Say that like a true Canadian, out. As you inhale, sweep the sky. Hold the arms high to the sky. As you bend both knees, make sure they're pointing straight towards that toe box, the two middle toes. As you lower the hips, keep the arms high. Try not to let those elbows bend. Deepen this, go deeper, deeper, deeper. Inhale, stand tall. Relax the arms. Sweep them back up to the sky. Hold them back up, squat it down. Raise it up, relax the arms. Sweep them back up, lower it down. Raise back up, lower, and then bring hands over hearts. I'm going to step onto the mat just so I can be a little closer to you. I'm going to step that right foot forward, left foot back. I'm going to make sure we have the heel of that back foot aiming straight up at the sky. I think you can bring your your palms together with a little pressure. Just kind of like just enough we can kind of feel it. Now, the knee, very important here, making sure we haven't drifted forward. We want to load more to the posterior chain. To do so, I'd like you to get the knee back and take the ball of that front toe big toe, of course, and push it into the mat. Now with this, I like you to lean in. And this lean is all about loading. So whatever loads best for your body today, you choose. But most importantly, making sure we're not flexing or rounding the spine. We want a nice proud chest, nice long spine, relaxed neck. If we hold on this for a few seconds, I like to take the heel, that back foot, and drive it towards the earth. Feel that nice lengthening through the gastroc or calf muscle. We piston that heel up and down. I like you to try to make sure we're moving forward and back and not side to side. Try to control and stabilize the movement in that plane as best you can. Now, step the back foot forward and step the opposite foot back. Same setup, opposite side, minding the knee and the heel. As we lean in, we're loading in. We're finding that most ideal load for our body today. It's amazing how much warm-up is required just to get some blood flow into some muscles. A little bit of practice. Of course, I'm just using my words to kill a little bit of time because we want to isometrically work this muscle chain. And then we're going to add in a little dynamic here. Right heel rides to the earth and comes back up. The effort of getting the heel to the earth is one that's met with the best of efforts. Seeing the depth that you can get that heel. If you can get it to the earth, great. And if not, it's a work in progress. And enjoy that journey. Now hold it up, step it forward, keep the hands over heart, and bring the feet to the sides of the mat. Toes can aim straight forward this time, and we're going to begin to squat down just a little bit, keeping the spine nice and long. And we're simply going to articulate up and down. Now, as we do so, if you felt any compression or aggravation in the lower back, I'd like you to be more active with your six-pack muscle, almost like you're pulling that pelvic girdle from the base up and in towards the belly button. As you raise and lower the body, try to keep that focus. You might notice that releases some of the tension in that low back. If you're getting it, right? If not, again, it's a work in progress. Stand tall, relax the arms, draw the shoulders up, open the palms, and draw the elbows backwards. Big inhale, powerful exhale, serve it out. Kirsten's favorite exercise. No, she says. Now, forearms come together, hold the serving, take the thumbs and rotate them down towards the earth. Now, I have my fingers closed together. We're going to separate everything widely. So the forearms are going to come apart. Just the fingertips, the small ones, baby ones, just touching. Spiral those thumbs downward and then bring the palms together and hands back over heart. Lower down, engage, keep nice and solid. Hold it down, rock those hands to the floor, push the hips to the sky. Grip that butt backwards and walk those hands forward. Inhale, extend into a flat back. Each big toe making its presence in the mat as you draw back the hips and straighten the legs even more. Keeping that spine in extension as best we can. On the next breath, relax it all. Let it all fold in and bring hand to opposite elbow. Inhale, extend. Palms to the shin. 90-degree or your version of it. Bend in the knees. Elbows sweep forward, shoulders retract back, chest prouds out as palms keep that push. Hips keep low as we raise and open through, increasing the angle through the hips only. Hands sweep forward, palms are facing. Inhale, raise the arms, exhale, lower. All the way down and back, and all the way up. Do that for a few more repetitions. We hold up, stand up, reach high, exhale, relax. Left foot steps back. Separate the feet widely, so the feet are at the extremities of the mat on the sides. Excuse me. Now, once again, knee position, very important. Like you gripped it backward, almost like it's over top of the heel of that right foot. Now, we're going to take that left heel, we're going to drop it down. So we're angling in. The angle of the foot is all personal. So I like to try to find one that allows you to be anchored and also to be able to rotate. I'm going to take that left hip, I'm going to rotate it forward. And as we do so, I'd like to take the left heel, drive it to the earth, straighten out that back leg. So we have a push-pull thing going on, mostly push, pushing one against the other, front versus back. So straighten that front leg, keep the back leg straight, rotate through on that left hip, hands come on the hips. Engage that six pack. You know how you like to fire that thing up? Yeah. Keep it solid. Now, as we keep the rotation, I like you to kind of lean in on that front leg. Now, this is loading your gluteal. And it's a great stretch. We're kind of like pulling that tissue apart. It's kind of good for us when we sit for long periods of time. We get adhesion in the muscle, tends to get in this spot, and then the muscle kind of locks up. So this is just really kind of stretching out that muscle. Explore the depth. How low can you go? You know, those people that try to uplift everyone by going to new highs. I'm not that person. We go to new lows today. All right, we've done enough repetitions for that. Come up on the toes of that back foot, step it forward, step the opposite foot back, side to side on that mat. Let that left heel drop down, foot angles all great, but it will drive that right heel to the earth. I like to straighten that right leg and then do the same thing with that left leg. Step your feet front to back, wider if you want. You can be wherever you need to be. While we keep those legs straight, take that right hip, rotate it forward. Get that nice little pull for that side body over the right hip itself. And let's begin to find the stretch. Dropping down, you might notice that your first few repetitions have more limit to them. But as the muscle starts to get blood flow, you might find more range of motion. So explore that a little bit. And you notice the movement is nice and slow. You're just kind of slowly ripping apart adhesion. Little muscle fiber by muscle fiber. You might feel this down the back of the leg, the hammies. All good. It's kind of all kind of connected together. As you raise up this time, up on the toes of that back foot, stepping forward. Keep those feet to the sides of the mat and keep those hands on the hips. Now, engage it. Raise it up, almost like someone's grabbing you by the bottom of the rib cage and lift it up. Squeeze those elbows together and pull that head to the sky. Kind of like you're in Superman posture, right? You just need a big S on that shirt of yours. As we hold here, I like you to hollow. Just pull. As you pull, fill the lungs. And then powerfully exhale. Inhale, fill and pull. Blow it out again, and do one more time. Beautiful. Now, shake out the legs, step them together, bring foot to foot, thigh to thigh. Sometimes the parts don't go together exactly like I'm suggesting. Just find your best version of it. Let the arms kind of drop beside the body and let the palms face backward. As we separate the fingers to open widely the hands, I like to take the thumbs and kind of post them onto the side of the leg. I'm going to keep the legs nice and straight. I'm going to straighten a little more. I'm going to kind of drift forward and back. Now, as we do so, this is going to be a balanced challenge. So I like you to kind of find a point, the tipping point, if you will, of where you feel like you're gonna topple and just oscillate forward to back right now. Now I'm gonna draw the shoulders upwards towards the ears. I'm gonna squeeze my shoulders together in the back as we continue to oscillate front to back. And then as we do so, I'd like you to find the balance between the weight bearing, between the front and back of the foot. And when we've got it, we're going to hold it and I'm going to go from side to side. I'm going to keep the legs together. I'm just going to move ever so slightly. You're going to find, the topple point may be different in terms of the overall range. And that's fine. And as we do so, same as we were doing front to back, I'd like you to find the balance between left and right. And then when we got it, we should have nice equilibrium front to back and left to right. Let's hold on that. Now, sweep the hands forward. Just going to want to pull the body forward, but I like that registration you created in the feet, that balance per se, to remain. As we keep the arms reaching forward, I'd like you to imagine you're sitting back to the seat. As we come into a chair-like pose, I'd like to see the descent. Now, again, find the balance front to back in the feet. So if you feel like the heels weighted up enormously and the front toes almost like pulled back, try to balance it out. Move the hips forward and back. And once you've got that, try to keep that and lower down a little more. And as you do so, I'd like to make sure we're not compressing to that low back. So what are you going to do? Yeah, six pack it. Give you some muscle there. Now stand tall. And do it again. You were really practicing the balance of weight management using the front and back muscles. And we're using the sensation of the feet, to kind of create that awareness how to move in more balance. Practice it a few more times. On this repetition, hold down, release the arms, open the palms, and sweep the hands backwards. Hold the arms long. If you find your low back working too much, you know what to do, right? Now, lower down, inhale, serve out the hands, forearms together, sink a little lower, stand tall, salute the sun. Can't do that with that fan there. As you inhale, pull high to the sky, and as you exhale, take it down to the earth gracefully. Or Sean method. Gonna grab some water. Cheers to everybody. This really is water. All right, now let's bring the feet almost extended out. So there's just a slightly open or mostly obtuse, if you're into geometry, angle through the knee itself. My feet aiming up at the sky. I've got my hands kind of just rest, my forearms resting on my thighs. And I have a little bit of inward rotation in my spinal column. So I'm going to ask you to kind of do two things simultaneously. Roll up under the sit bones and grow the spinal column. Nice. Now, while we keep that spinal extension, I'm going to extend both legs all the way up this time. So we might have a little different pull, but right now we should be relatively stable in this stack pose or stack like. We got a little split of legs for us. Now, bring hands over heart. And while you work to extend the spine and keep the compression of the neck, I'd like you to fold in a little bit and then come back to basically 90-degree angles in the hips and fold back in. So now we're really kind of firing up our hip flexors. So that's what's causing or enabling us to kind of close the angle in the hips. So we're giving them a little bit of exercise. And I say a little bit because they really are not working against gravity right now, they're just kind of pulling the upper body to the lower body, so it's a light load per se. This is a good exercise to do. If you feel like you have hip flexor issues, you might feel now that they're starting to burn a little bit, getting a little more warmth to them. And if you're not getting that sensation, try to keep the spinal column long and see if you can narrow the angle between hips. Sorry, between the legs and upper body. Now hold it up, step those feet back in, put them flat onto the floor. Hands come over kneecaps. We're going to kind of roll down onto the tailbone pelvically, and then roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, pulling the feet up off the floor and coming into a laying position. Back of the head, back, all the way down to the hips. That pelvic girdle should feel a nice spinal connection. If you don't, pull the knees in a little closer. See if you can kind of get that low back skin connected to your mat. If it doesn't go there, it's not a mandatory thing. It's a kind of like we're working towards that. And if you're there, kind of rock forward and back with the knees. You have a little bit of muscle relaxation, a little massage of sorts. Now hold the left knee in, extend the right leg out. Let that right arm just fall beside the body with the palm on the floor. Now you might feel that right hip flexor kind of fire up a little bit. We were working it, so this is like a different release for it. It's kind of letting it stretch out, lengthen out. Take the right heel. Now, first of all, start flex the right foot and then drive the right heel away from the body. Kind of intensify that pull right hip. Take the right hand, sweep it up and reach it all the way back. Now, I'm rotating my palm to face the center line, and I'm separating my fingers so the thumb or the tip of it is the connection point. And then I'm going to use the fingers to pull that right arm nice and long, almost like I'm pulling the arm out of the socket. While I keep that nice length, now I'm going to use my left hand to open up that left knee. Now, I want you to be mindful of pelvic stability. So if you rolled off that right hip, you're taking this a little too far. You're going to release some of the stretch we're going for right now. Now, rock the knees. Let's just circle it a little bit. While you keep that right hip, it's not locked down, but you're actively working to keep it on the floor. And then bring that left knee back into its original spot. Return everything back to square one. And then let that left side extend down. With me, and maybe also with you, is you might notice that left hip flexor goes boom. And this is why it's a good little stretch here. We worked it, and now we're just going to teach it how to be long. It's very important for our hip mobility, which is why this is a great stretch. As we extend the left arm up, it's the same setup. Reach long. Hold here for a couple breaths. Register how that body of yours feels with the pelvic girdle, nice and levelly attached. Sensation equal from left to right side as we begin to open the right knee out. And then we begin to circle it. The arms are already back. Thanks for joining us today. And as we bring it back to center, everything is returning back in. Bring your forehead up to meet your knees and rock and roll front to back and come all the way up. Start walking those feet backwards as we go into a prone position, which means we're going to be face down on the mat. Oh my goodness, how much fun is this? Now, some of us may have insufficient strength to keep the face up off the earth, and if you need to relax your face down, grab a towel. Do not skeeved out. We're going to tuck the toes in so that we're not on the tops of the feet. And I'm gonna keep the hands right down, right around shoulder heights. Now, we're gonna lift the front of the chest up off the floor. Now, I know with boobs, this is a different equation, but it's the same activation. You're trying to lift up the chest. And while we work on that lift up, I'd like you to hollow out the belly. If you kind of feel a pull between the pelvic girdle and the rib cage, it's what we're kind of going for right now. Hollow it out, keep it long, keep that neck relaxed, tension free. Shoulders are pulled to the sky. Chest is proud. Let the forehead drop down towards the mat if it's not present there. And as you inhale, take the back of the head to the sky. And then lower and raise. And then hold the back of the head up. Let the chest come back down. Walk those hands all the way down. And let's check in with your shoulders. Now, if they made a nice connection with the mat, I'd like you to try to lift them up off the mat. So keep the palms flat, fingers widely separated, with shoulders pull up and away from the mat. Hold on that. Take the right hand, lift it up off the earth, and then switch it for the left. So we're working bilaterally, working on each side, just basically walking the hands up and down. As those muscles fatigue, you may see your shoulders want to return to the mat. But I'd like you to make the effort to keep them up and away from the mat. Now, hold both palms down, roll onto the baby fingers as best you can, and then take the right thumb, lift it to the sky, lower it back down onto the hinge point, that baby finger, switch it to the left side, and keep alternating side to side. If your neck needs a break, take it. Yeah, this is really going to tax a lot of these small muscles in the shoulder blade area, but this is for strengthening. So endure as best you can and take break as you need. I'm going to do a few more repetitions. And then I'm going to walk the hands back under the shoulders. Use those arms to push up and come into all fours. Nice. And I'm going to cat and cow this out a little bit. Kirsten's gone into child's pose. You're more than welcome to do that. Both are recovery phases here. Because recover on all fours, I'd like you to kind of take your pubis and pull it into the spine. As the spine goes into flexion, let the head fall. As you inhale, tailbone and back of head raise to the sky. Just make sure we're not drifting out on those shoulders. Like to kind of settle the torso in between the arms, spiral the elbows into the center line, and take the tailbone and back of head, raise them to the sky. Now hollow out the belly and begin to bring flexion into the spine. And reverse this a few times. Do about a 5 count in and out. You're ready, neutral spine. If you've untucked the toes, make sure they're back tucked again. And we're going to raise up and float the bear, which basically means we're taking the knees a little bit off the earth. And I'm going to gently bring them back down to the earth. I'm going to do that a few more times. Float and descend. You go at your own pace. Please note that you're not pushing your whole torso out of alignment with those arms. Descend it in, those shoulder sockets are kind of right beside the body. All right, on this next rep, pull it all the way up to down dog. Drive those heels to the earth as you walk your hands back towards your feet. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Keep the extension. Take the ball of each big toe, push it into the mat. Straighten out those knees. Draw those hips backwards. Walk the hands forward. Inhale, extend. Exhale, fold. Unfold, sweep to the sky. Salute the sun. Bring hands over heart. Great job. Now take the left foot, step it forward. And keep hands over heart. We're gonna narrow the stance a little bit, but not like we're on a tightrope. Enough where we can be stable with the back heel aiming to the sky. We're gonna have a little more bend in the knee, with the knee being slightly more forward towards the toe box. So now that we have this, I'd like you to chop through the hips, hold in, and get as much load as you can on that left glute. With hands over heart, I'd like you to pull from the center through the shoulders, expanding across the chest. As you engage that six pack, I'd like you to take the shoulder carriage and rotate it towards the right. And then like a slowly moving clock hand, come back center and go opposite side. So as we pendulum side to side, we have the rate of speed that we're going with. I like to try to keep stable through the whole movement as best you can. This is more of a mess for your balance because your ears and the little balls that run and tell you you're out of balance or in balance are messing with your nervous system right now. I like you to kind of play around with it so you can kind of find really good stability or your best version of it. On this next rep, step the back foot forward. Hello. I step the opposite foot back. You might find the disparity between each side. Again, the same setup, opposite side, chop it, fold it in, and start with moving to the right, and moving center and all the way through. Try not to give in on the upper body. Try to keep nice and long through the spine, retracted through the shoulders, and slow and steady movement. You may find that your toes are gripping. Try to relax that a little bit. Our extremities try to garner balance and positional control. And this is more of an exercise for balance through the core, not through the extremities. So try a couple more repetitions. Next one, come back straight, step the back foot forward, say, woo, shake out those glutes, salute the sun, take a big inhale, powerful exhale, take it down to the mat again, and grab a little water, simply because my throat's getting dry, and maybe yours is too. Cheers to you. Agua. All right. We're gonna come all the way down onto our backside. Oldie but goodie, coming up. As we extend both legs straight, I'd like to slide the heel of each foot just about an inch or two, just a micro bend in those knees. We've separated those heels about hip width apart. Gonna bring flexion to the feet. That foot flexion, you can kind of feel those shin muscles fire up. I'm gonna just shift down a little more. And this little patting. And with the flexion in the feet, we're going to create interior rotation. Thighs come together. If the toes touch, great. Try to get them together if you can. Most important though, in this rotation, internal rotation, is the engagement of those medial, those inner thigh muscles. And second to that, the flexion in the foot. We want certain muscles working. We're trying to inhibit the use of other muscles by activating some muscle here. So I want you to keep those two things in mind as we add to this by pulling the belly in towards the spinal column. Let your arms come beside the body. Come up onto your fingertips, just like you're cupping your hands, and then draw your shoulders backwards onto the mat, almost like you're imprinting them on the mat.
The thighs, if they began to tremble, perfect. That means those muscles are actively working right now. They're isometrically working. You have them in a static position, but they're fired up. Now, as you keep that, all that we built so far is you keep that. I'd like you to push your heels on the mat and try to elevate your backside up off the mat. This is a big medial and posterior chain exercise. You should feel a lot of muscle working up and into the hips and into the central and middle parts of the legs. And then relax that, extend the legs straight, and bring the arms all the way back. Point to point, fingertips to toes, pull along the body. On your next breath, as you release it, we're going to do this exercise one more time and finish up with some stretching. Same setup as before. I'm going to avoid all the blah, blah, blah. Just get there. Squeeze it. Fingertips down. Drive the heels. Lift that butt of yours off the mat, or give me your best version of it. Lower it down. Extend out everything. Opposites pull. Find that great length through the whole body. As you exhale, as promised, into the next thing, which is basically stretching. Take that left foot, plant it with your heel relatively close to that left butt cheek. Wrap that right leg over left. Now use the right leg to pull that left knee towards the right side. Shoot that left hand up and into the air, and then sweep it directly backwards for a nice side body release. Like a clock hand, circle that left arm. Down and around, all the way back up. Big circles, big as you can get. And then hold it with the straight up position. Reach it nice and long. As you exhale, lower it down. Switch up those legs. Take it to the opposite side. Shoot that right hand up and into the air. You'll notice that I'm not actively trying to get the leg on the mat. That little float works to our benefit with the stretch. Pull along the arm, that muscle, that side body of yours, find great length. Circle the arm like a clock hand. Roll it back onto the backside. Bring both feet to the mats. Pelvic rocking now. I want you to step your feet in towards your hips. And then I'd like you to try to take your pubis and pull it up and in towards the body. And you know you're kind of rocking your pelvic girdle. You can kind of feel the low back skin connect to the mat and then release from the mat. So as the hips, as the pubis rolls forward, skin sensation releases or goes. And as it pulls in, you feel that connection. Or your best version of it, just rock it forward and back. All right, now let's hold it in the back position. Use your hands to grab each kneecap, pull the legs into the body, just give it a couple rocks. Now let's bring our forehead up to meet the knees and rock and roll front to back and come all the way up to a seated position. There's everybody. Beautiful, bright smiling faces. I'm going to go into a notice this issue because I like to show up and bring hands over heart. Simply thank you for joining us today. Namaste.
Well.
Good morning.